Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1, season 3 of Knights Talk. I'm your host, Rob Leonard. The 2017-2018 season is well underway, and I have a couple of special guests in the studio with me today. Special guys, Danny Smith, who's the director of scouting for the Knights. You're the guy that puts this team together every single year. And also very pleased to have Jason Akers, director of marketing, here with me today. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, so let's get started. The Knights have had, 3 games so far. They've picked up 5 of a possible 6 points in those 3 games. You take a look, they opened up against the expansion Fergus Force with a very convincing 14-0 win. A couple of firsts in that one. New head coach Brad Tichborne got his first junior hockey win in that game. And I also did some research to look back, and that's the very first time that the Knights have started the season with a shutout in their very first game. So goalkeeper Graham Jamel got the shutout for Meaford in that one. Then we take a look at September 21st up against the very tough New Tech Civics. The Knights coming out on the short end of a 4-3 shootout loss in that one to the Civics. And but New Tech, basically, they've won the division, finished first in the division the last 2 years in a row. So great to see the Knights come out with a victory in that one. And then they followed it up with a, I believe it was a 6-5 overtime win in, was it Seguin?
Yep.
Yeah, in Seguin. So great start to the season for the Knights. As I said, 5 of a possible 6 points, and the guys are looking good. Now, I haven't had a chance. I got out to some of the training camp, Danny, and a couple of things that I noticed about this team. Number one is size. You look like you've really got some skilled players, but also a couple of guys that are over 6 feet tall and got some good size to them.
Yeah, we really did add a lot of size compared to last year. We've added size in Nico Walsh, Tyler Strutz, Alex Nazkov, and then especially on the D end with Jason Stone, Colton Langowski, and returners Will Vernon, Connor Long, and David Hooper, and Dan McCall. Even he really worked hard this summer and gained some muscle onto him, and he's looking really good. We do look really strong and tough out of the gate for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, I had a conversation with Nico Walsh, actually, and I don't know if he had his skates on or not. I'm 6 feet tall, but he towered over me, so I was standing there looking up at him. I don't normally have to do that. So, but he comes from Minnesota, very skilled player, had some injury issues last year, but he's done very well in the first 3 with Meaford this year.
Yeah, Nico's just a very, very strong player. Mentally very tough. It's very hard to get the puck off him in the corners, and he knows where to be at all times. He's got a really good shot, and I think he's going to be a really big threat on the power play for us. And even 5-on-5, he's been nothing but good for us so far this year.
As it is in junior hockey, it's always tough to keep a team together year in and year out. Players aging out, et cetera, or life changes for them. They do something else, but the Knights have got some really strong returnees this year. As you mentioned, Alex Nazkov is back.
Yep.
He was a sniper last year, but the one that stands out for me the most is the defensive core, pretty much intact if Simon Dumas comes back.
Yeah, so far we have David Hooper, who has returned for his final year of junior. Connor Long and Will Vernon are both returned, as well as Dan McCall, and those are 4 very strong defensemen right there. And with Jason Stone and Colton Langowski, that's 6 very good defensemen right off the hop. And then that's not mentioning our two young guys we have back there in Julien Delp from Quebec and Stanislav Lebeg from France. Both young guys that will probably play the same role Dan McCall did this year, but look how he turned out. And Dan McCall is a huge addition to have back. He's got a really hard, low shot. He's a big body. He's tough. And he blocks shots on the penalty kill. Everybody, I think, is going to chip in for us this year.
Absolutely. So, goaltending was maybe a bit of a question mark at the start of the season, but to this point, it's looking pretty good. Graham Jamel seems to be
Yeah.
in there, the #1 spot.
Yeah, Graham comes from Godfrey, Ontario, just north of Kingston. He played last year with the Gananoque Islanders, and he's been nothing but stellar for us. And behind him, we've got a 16-year-old goaltender named Maris Salgrizes from Latvia. Maris will be attending the World Junior Camp in Latvia I believe, in a month. And those two have been battling for a spot, and Graham's gonna lean on Maris, and Maris is gonna lean on Graham. But so far, Graham's played stellar for us so far, and we're excited for what we see out of Maris and our other goaltenders as well.
I had an opportunity to meet Graham last season. You had him come up to Meaford for a game, or to watch a game, and at that time he made me promise that he would be the first player on Knights Talk, and I made that promise to him. So I sent him a message to be here next week. So the proof is there. I remembered, and I put it out to him. So let's just hope that he is here next week. So now some of the chatter I'm hearing around the league, and I've heard it 2 or 3 times now, and it's early in the season, that a couple of people that are of good opinion in the league believe that the Knights are going to take this North Division this year. They believe they're that strong.
Yeah, right off the gate, we are strong. We have 4 solid lines, and we have 6 extremely good defensemen. Well, 8 pretty good defensemen, and we got strong goaltending too. So it's a matter of what they do with it. They got to put the work in day in and night out. We're in the dog days of the season right now because, for one, we're not skating in Meaford yet. Our ice isn't in. So we're skating late at night out of town. We haven't played a home game just yet. And it's just, it's only going to get tougher. So we're starting off strong right off the hop, and I see nothing but good things to come.
And we should also mention to the fans of Meaford the changes, people already know, but the changes in the management, some of the management for the Knights this year. Former head coach Nathan Parrish has moved to the position of general manager of the team for this year, and newcomer head coach Brad Tichborne is taking over behind the bench for Nate and for the team this year. I think that's a fantastic move. I know that there was a huge rumor of another GM coming in to the team back a few months ago, and then I thought that was a done deal. But then all of a sudden, the announcement comes out that Nathan Parrish had moved to the GM spot, and Brad Tichborne was brought in. I think perfect move. Yeah. Perfect move. Nate has been basically the face of the franchise in Meaford since their inception, and everybody knows who he is. Plus, who knows the GMHL better than Nathan Parrish?
Yeah, and Nate's got great connections within the league. And Brad's a newcomer. Brad's coming fresh out of AAA. And we've got a solid. We haven't lost in regulation yet, so there's no complaints there. And the team seems, everything seems to be falling into place so far, so to speak.
And those guys were supposed to be here tonight. I tried to get them here tonight, but they're getting ready for tomorrow night. They're actually at the arena, getting all the kinks out. They're facing the New Tech Civics again tomorrow night.
Yep.
By the time this goes there, Thursday night, the rematch against the Civics. So, and as I was saying to you prior to coming on air, somebody close to the Civics has said to me that they're pretty sure the Knights are going to win the rematch tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right, Danny, let's have a word with Jason Akers. Jason, you've been associated with the team since pretty much the beginning.
The last 3 years. Last 3 years, Rob. Yep. I started out being a billet dad, actually. That's how I got involved in the team. A friend of a friend said the Knights were looking for, some extra billets, actually part-time billets. So I talked to my wife, and we agreed we'd, help the team out, billet part-time till they got everything sorted out. We ended up enjoying it, and the player enjoyed us, so we actually had 2 for our first season. And that's how I got involved. Nathan Parrish contacted me by telephone wanting to know if I could help out the team with, gathering sponsors, and here we are. Yeah, it's been
That's
great.
a tough job, going out and trying to convince
Yeah.
people to part with their hard-earned money
Oh, I know,
for
I
the
know,
team. But
I
you
know.
know, as you and I were discussing, I believe it was earlier today, and you said Meaford is such a huge hockey town.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a stereotypical Canadian small town that live and breathe their hockey, and you know, to be associated with the team in one way or another, having your name associated with the team for your business is a good thing. So that would make your job a little easier that way. But your job too is to come up with new ideas. And you told me what that new idea was today, I believe, on the phone. And I think it's a great idea. Why don't you share it with the folks?
Yeah, you know, I start planning our season probably in July, you know, looking at our different programs, jersey sponsors, penalty kill sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. So I come up with an idea this year called the Game Day Sponsor. And what that is, you know, for $500, I'll give you 20 game day tickets. I'll reserve some seating in our stands for your group. This year we're doing something different. We're doing an official puck drop ceremony, and we've got a sponsor for to bring somebody in live to sing "O Canada." So as a game day sponsor, you take part in our official puck drop ceremony. As you know, we've hired Fred Wallace again this year to do all our announcing. So
I thought you said fired Fred Wallace.
Oh, no, we wouldn't fire Fred Wallace.
Hired. You don't want to fire Fred
So
Wallace.
Fred's going to announce your business all night long.
Right.
You're going to, you know, you and your staff are going to sit in the bleachers, and we're going to bring a Amici pizza to you guys right in the stands.
Best pizza in Meaford.
Best pizza in Meaford, absolutely, and a good sponsor.
Yep.
And after the game's done, we'll ship you down to the dressing room for a meet and greet and an autograph session with the Knights.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's a great team building event for a lot of businesses. We still have a few dates available. If anybody's interested, give me a call or get a hold of us down at the Knights office.
And then, do you still have openings for sponsorships?
Well, we'll always open up for sponsorships, but we went from 16 sponsors when I took over to over 45 sponsors, so we've got pretty well everything covered. Something I wanted to do this year but just couldn't put it together quick enough was an official puck sponsor, but that's something I'd still like to do.
So there's still openings for those
Still
things.
opening if you want to sponsor the puck.
How do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you in regards to those?
My email address is marketing@meafordknights.ca, marketing@meafordknights.ca, or they can go on our website, www.meafordknights.ca, go click on sponsors, and then there's a link there to get a hold of me off our website.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So any other exciting events or any special things? I guess the military night will be happening again this year?
As far as I know, the military night's happening. It's in the works. A couple other things are in the works which we can't talk about right now, but it's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a very exciting year, absolutely.
But when those things come up, you will announce it here on this show first, right?
Well,
It'll be on Night's Talk.
Our social media director might want first dibs.
I'm not messing with her.
Yeah.
She wins. I'm not messing with her.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so again, by all accounts, and judging by the first 3 games of this season, it looks like Meaford's in for a heck of a season. And like I said, haven't been able to see a game yet because they've all been on the road, and everybody in Meaford understands why. You got to wait until after that big craft show is done and before they get the ice in the arena. But I can't wait to get there. I think our first game with Rogers is October 12th. And I think that's against the Wyerton Schooners.
Yep.
So that'll be the, is that the opening night?
That's the opening night, yep.
That'll be the opening night for the Knights, October 12th at home, but Thursday night, tomorrow night as far as work. Oh, we got the schedule right here. Great work, Mark. New Tech tomorrow night, 7:30. Then you're heading off to Temiskaming the following Thursday. For an 8 o'clock game, and then you got 2 back-to-back games with Wyerton October 12th, which you will be able to see on Rogers Channel 53, and back there again on Thursday. Wyerton having their struggles so far this year. Then you've got West Nipissing. They've been struggling a little bit to start the season. They're sitting behind you guys in the standings.
Yeah, they played some tough teams, but I think they'll be a strong team once they come down here.
but then you got Wyerton twice, Fergus and Wyerton twice more. So looking at the schedule up until the end of October, you guys have got a fairly soft schedule with having Fergus and Wyerton as many times as you do. So great opportunity to pick up a bunch of points, because I'm sure after that you'll be facing some of the other teams, top teams in the
in this league, it doesn't, we can look at the past scores, but it all depends on how you come to play that night, right? As you know as well as I do.
Absolutely.
Anything can happen in this league, right? So
right.
as long as the boys come prepared, I'm sure they'll be successful.
I'm sure Fergus and Wyerton are still trying to tweak their lineups and get some other faces, and you just never know what they're going to do.
Exactly.
It could be a different team the next time you see them again. So,
yeah.
All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming in here and doing this. So excited to get Knights Talk episode 1 for season 3 in the books. And as I said, really looking forward to an exciting season of Knights hockey. And be sure to catch, we tape every home game every Thursday night on Rogers Channel 53. And you can see the game the following day on Friday. I believe it's at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock the following day on the Friday, you'll be able to see the game in its entirety. So for Jason Akers, Danny Smith, I'm Rob Leonard. We'll see you next time on Knights Talk.